Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Rock Martel from the old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club. Rock.
How do you do, Peter?
Hi, buddy. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Thanks for coming down. You're a first-time visitor with us, so welcome and thanks for coming down.
I appreciate the offer, so I take it up each time, and we have great things to talk about today.
Absolutely.
So thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Well, first, let's start off with who is Rock Martel and how long has he been involved with the old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club?
Well, that's going to dig a little deep here. I'm the current president of the organization, have been for several years. I think I'm going on my 8th duration of president.
Okay.
Been with the Exchange Club for over 20 years.
All right.
And it's a great small little group. We're about 2 dozen strong. So it's not a very large group, very personable. We meet twice a month on the first and third Wednesdays of each month.
Yeah.
And we get together for different events. We have 2 major fundraising events with the Exchange Club. Okay. One is the Bourbon, Brew, and Wine 2.
Okay.
And the second one is our road races in the fall.
Yes. So
I've really enjoyed the camaraderie of the team, of the group that we have. They're participating members from all spectrums of the community.
Right.
Real estate. There's some real estate agents, bankers, paint shop. There's Andy Scott.
Andy Scott.
There's owners, business owners right on Main Street. Mm-hmm. Myself included. I'm a consultant for the aerospace business. So it's a broad spectrum of folks that comprise the Exchange Club at this point.
Absolutely.
And we're always looking for new members.
Right.
And we're having a membership drive this year, in fact.
Oh, nice.
And we've taken on at least 4 or 5 members recently.
Right. And
it helps to, as we take on new events, like I said, we have 2 major events, but also we have some minor events. We're one of the best kept secrets, I think, on the shoreline.
Absolutely.
For instance, how many people know that in Old Saybrook, the Main Street, mm-hmm. the flags that fly from Memorial Day through Veterans Day is sponsored by the Exchange Club. We procure the flags, the poles, we put them up in the beginning of the year, and we fly them graciously throughout the rest of the year with the help of the town.
Yeah.
We have an Old Saybrook Exchange Club pond. You mind if I share this with you?
Sure, go ahead.
So back in, I think it was January 16th, if I can make this better here. January 16th, right off Bochum Road, this freezes over, and we keep the area groomed. And it's a small little pond, but it's cute. It's great for, as you can see, little tykes like this love to put on their skates, maybe first time even.
Go ice skate.
And the parents and family, it's a family event.
Right.
And that's another element that we don't market ourselves very well. So that's why I'm very appreciative to have you here, to have us here.
Not a problem. So how did the idea of the pond come about?
That's a good question. I am not sure. I know that it was beyond my time. It was over 20 years ago.
All right.
Appleby and Q-Tone was a sponsor, and one other, and unfortunately I cannot recall.
That's okay.
But there were 2 or 3 contractors that were offered their services to help carve out the pond area. Okay. The town donated the space. I believe it was also part of Connecticut Water area. It was kind of an unused, overgrown area. Okay. And we decided to develop it and make it into a nice family event. So with the help of the 3 contracting companies, mm-hmm. they did, a lion's share of the work. Yeah. It still exists today. It's great. It's over 20, it's been at least 25 years that I'm aware of. Okay. And again, it's one of the best kept secrets in Old Saybrook. So
it's still up and operational?
Yes, obviously during the winter, of course. Right. But it's a small. It's not a very deep pond. It's like a donut shape, and I think at the highest point where maybe it fills, and it'll dry up during the course of the year. Yep. But as the spring freshet comes in, or even late in the summer, we'll have some downpours of rain. It may be 2 feet deep at the most. So it's a very risk-free area for the family.
So in other words, if you fall in, you're not going in far.
No,
Because
not at all.
I don't think you'd want to fall in that. I don't think you'd want to fall in anyway.
No, no. But the town will help groom it. We're also annually the team, the Exchange Club membership, will spend a full day, a Saturday, and each Saturday could be a different Saturday, but it's an annual event.
Okay.
And we'll go help, plant flowers, do some weeding, look for opportunities to improve the area as required.
Cool.
So it's a collaboration between the town and ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's a cool thing to have.
Absolutely.
Cool thing to know about.
Absolutely. Now if people want more information on the Exchange Club or how to become a member, they should call you, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
I encourage, call myself. I have my cell phone. I believe it's up on.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to walk through what the Exchange Club, what's our mantra, how we handle the different events. But if you look at, there's many different clubs. There's a lot of competing clubs. You got Lions Club, Rotary Club, Women's Club. Mm-hmm. There's many clubs out there,
right.
And we're one of the many.
Right. What
differentiates, I believe, Exchange Club from other clubs is we work for the community in several areas: Americanism, patriotism, but also the prevention of child abuse.
Okay. That's
our main focus here, and that's what our fundraisers are for. So as we as we have fundraising events to garner the 100% of the proceeds will go towards that event. And then, shall we talk about the event coming up in May?
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely.
So we have the Bourbon, Brew, and Wine 2 in May 20th of next month.
Yeah.
And the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds goes towards a scholarship for a youth from Old Saybrook and from Westbrook. So our club is comprised of two towns, Saybrook and Westbrook.
Yeah.
And we also work with the communities of both towns. So we will develop these events to raise the funds. And again, like I said, 100% of the funds will go towards a scholarship for a youth who's had adversity in their life. This is not your typical scholarship.
Right.
So, and it's really heartbreaking, some of the stories that we've heard over the course of many years. These are teens, young teens, we're talking high school age, so, 13, 14 through 18, let's say. They've had some major adversity in their life. Mm-hmm. It could be a parent has died, a car accident, a major illness has befallen someone in the family, or even themselves, the student themselves. And they've met that adversity head on and were still able to plow through all their academic achievements, maybe not with the best grades, maybe not with the notoriety of the valedictorian, salutatorian,
right.
But they've accomplished a high school diploma, and most likely going on for a college degree.
Okay.
So that's what we do. That's where we focus, and we asked the town of Old Saybrook, we asked the principal and vice principal of Old Saybrook and Westbrook, can you determine or identify a member of your community who's had that type of adversity? And the spectrum is just amazing.
Absolutely.
Some of the things that have occurred to these young folks. They're young adults, very inexperienced adults for this type of adversity, and yet they've still met the challenge and have progressed and accomplished a high school diploma with the focus either on a technical school and or college next evolution. So that's where we like to raise the funds and like to have a really big turnout, if possible, on May 20th.
Yeah.
And again, let me talk about the event itself.
Yeah, please.
So it started out as a wine tasting many years ago.
Okay.
Because that was the thing, right? Wine tasting.
Right.
And we realized that there's a lot of microbrews around Connecticut,
right.
Even on the shoreline. So we evolved this from a wine tasting to a wine and brew tasting for many years, I'll say 4, 5, 10 years ago. And recently, we're recognizing that even bourbon now is becoming more of a younger generation choice of drinks.
Yes.
So we've expanded into a bourbon, brew, and wine too.
Okay.
And we'll have 20 vendors.
Yeah.
This is a huge event.
It is.
This is like one of the largest events on the shoreline. Again, one of the best kept secrets.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you having us.
Yeah,
We can
no
get
problem.
the secret out.
Not a problem.
But we'll have 15 to 20 vendors. And they bring a host of all different types of products that they sell,
Right.
distributors. And it's through the cordial shop in Old Saybrook.
Absolutely.
So Nick has been very generous, Nick and his wife have been
Yep.
very generous in helping us sponsor for many years for this event. And they organize all these vendors, and it's a great event. It's wonderful, social hour. Actually, it's about 2.5 hours. It's 5:30 to 8 o'clock is the time. And we'd love to have more folks come and join us.
One thing we didn't talk about, we talked about the time, we talked about the date.
Yes.
Where are we going?
Thank you. Good point. So we're going to the Westbrook Elks Club, another great venue right
Absolutely.
on the shore, and in a very large parking area.
Right.
So we can accommodate many people coming to this venue.
Right.
And Elks Club has been very generous again to help us because of our
Yeah.
nonprofit, and of course the scholarships that this provides, giving us accommodations for the costs.
Okay.
They've been very generous in that area. But the Westbrook Elks Club also, like I say, it's right on the shoreline on a beautiful day like today.
Oh,
We'll
absolutely.
open up the back doors and you can walk right out on the beach
Absolutely.
and have a moment. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That's
no
very
problem.
helpful.
Rock, would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Certainly.
All right, we'll be right back.
Smart TVs and streaming services have taken over the television industry. VSC TV is proud to announce our presence on Apple TV and Roku to make watching your favorite shows even easier. You can access this service by downloading the Cablecast ScreenWeave app. Then choose Valley Shore Community TV from the list of channels. Select VSC TV Live to watch our channel in full HD. Or pick a show from our on-demand video library. VSC TV is your local Connecticut Midshore Valley digital connection.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Rock Martel from the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club. Rock, welcome back.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, Rock, we were talking about the first segments about some of the programs that you guys do, and I was wondering if maybe we could talk a little bit about, in more detail, about some of the programs.
I'd love to,
Okay.
yes. Again, the Exchange Club's been around for over 50 years.
Okay.
It's a national exchange club of which we are a chapter. We're a Connecticut chapter.
Okay.
And I believe there's 45 chapters all in throughout Connecticut, of which we're one, but we're also part of Old Saybrook Westbrook. And our main focus is, and from a national perspective, is prevention of child abuse.
Oh.
So that's a pretty heavy topic when you
yeah.
think about all the different aspects of it. So, you know, we've sponsored, again, some of the fundraisers will gather the funds. We sponsored women's domestic violence centers in the past.
All right.
We also look at what other avenues we can support the community with, let's say youth and family services.
Sure.
So we'll support that group also through financial donations, and they'll take the monies that we've developed and put them to good use. They're very appreciative, and especially in Westbrook. I believe Westbrook is not is not in the town budget.
Okay.
And Old Saybrook is, so a little bit of a difference between the two towns, but we also will sponsor each town equally.
Oh, nice.
So some of the events that we'll have a Memorial Day, give a flag to a child on Main Street. So the Memorial Day Parade in Old Saybrook, the whole group will gather together. We probably hand out 18 gross, which is about 1,800 flags.
Wow.
From the beginning of the parade, because we also lead the parade with our banners and our flags, and we hand out a small flag to each child and to parents throughout the whole front to rear of the parade.
Oh,
it's
wow.
such a wonderful event.
It is.
Everybody's happy, everybody's enjoying the moment. And again, patriotism is one of our main mantras, along with prevention of child abuse. So this kind of adds perspective to both of those things. Another item that we have as well is the, trying to think here. So the prevention of child abuse, again, is we'll have salute to the finest and salute to the bravest.
That's right.
Again, these are folks that are on the front line dealing with adversity, whether it's a family event or a child event. So the national club as well as the local club will look at the different communities with Old Saybrook and Westbrook and look at the salute to the finest, which is coming up in May.
Right.
The finest being the policeman of the year.
Okay.
And now into the fall, we'll have salute to the bravest, the firefighters.
There you go.
3 Old Saybrook and Westbrook.
Okay.
And we like to honor those folks because they're the front line. They're involved in day-to-day family events, whether it's a domestic violence issue or whatever, especially and even in the fire department, dealing with a home emergency. So we like to have that event. We sponsor that event as well.
Okay.
And the National has the event at the AquaTurf. What a wonderful event that is.
Yeah.
All the different chapters of Connecticut will gather together at the AquaTurf on a Thursday evening after we've had the local salute, the local honoree. And it's full of pomp and circumstance. It's wonderful. You get to meet the other chapters, the other folks that are throughout Connecticut that have the same, the same feelings that we have towards our club. They'll have the Connecticut fife and drum. I think that's what they're called. Okay. The flag.
Yep.
And it's just a wonderful event. It's just fun to get involved at the local level and occasionally at the district level. Yeah. So again, the prevention of child abuse, patriotism, Americanism is our top 3 efforts that we focus on.
Now, as far as the organization goes, you guys meet on the first and third Wednesday of the month?
That is correct.
What can people expect if they want to come to a meeting? And more importantly, are your meetings open to the public?
Good question, thank you.
You like that?
So the first and third Wednesday of each month, we meet at a local restaurant in town. We'll break bread, have dinner together. We'll have a little social hour in the bar if prior to the event. Right. But then we have our meetings in a separate room that is again sequestered for our team, our group. Right. We'll break bread. We'll have dinner, and then we move on to the different topics for the month. Okay. Different topics, maybe a fundraiser or membership drive. Like I said, we're having a membership drive currently, so anyone would like to know more, please call me. Right. I'd be more than happy to spend a few minutes with you and share with you my enthusiasm, my excitement about what we do and how we do it. And it lasts maybe about an hour and 15 minutes. It's not long, it's not a long duration. Again, it's a small club. Right. There's maybe 24 members, of which 10 to 15 max will show up at a meeting each month, depending on some people are involved in their lives, and they have a limited amount of time. That's understandable.
Absolutely.
We still enjoy having those members come when they can.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, tell us a little bit about, like you said, if people want to call you and you can tell them a little bit about the Exchange Club, what would you tell them if you were having the conversation with someone on the phone right now about the Exchange Club and how important it is to the community?
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to grab a piece of paper right here.
Yeah, go for it.
And share with you some of the notes.
Sure, absolutely.
So we have a little brochure that we've developed.
Okay.
Again, the old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club.
Okay.
And the way the very first statement here in our brochure, the old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club is a civic organization that enables us, the membership, to give back to our communities.
Okay.
Our programs are for the local communities. They vary from themes of Americanism, prevention of child abuse, and supporting our neighbors. So this is a wonderful opportunity for those who want to give back to the community, wanted to get involved in the community, and not only that, get to know the community.
Absolutely.
When I joined 20 years ago, I rarely knew some of my neighbors right in my own neighborhood.
Really?
And now I was able to broaden my horizons by learning more about those on Main Street, the bankers, the real estate agents. There's a contractors, so it's a whole spectrum of folks that are involved in our club. That's
actually how you and I met, through a member of your club.
That's correct.
That's right. My friend Jim Crawford introduced you and I, and hence we're here again. But you and I have also worked on the road race together. We've worked on this event together. I've been behind the scenes helping Jim, and one of the things that Jim and I do the morning of the road race,
that's right,
we go to Madison and get the bagels. we do the bagel run at Cohen's at 6 a.m.
That's a wonderful event. That's a fun
absolutely.
event. There's so much excitement, so much energy.
Oh yeah.
It happens in the fall,
right
before school starts, so that and we've had teams from Old Saybrook High School, even Westbrook High School, different high schools that'll come and run. Their I guess their track team or whatever it may be, and run the road race. And it's just so much excitement. It's so much fun.
Absolutely.
We've had again, from teenage years up to there's a fella up to recently just passed away this last year. Sad to say. But he was running since up till 95 years old. We had the special trophy for the 90-plus-year-old, and he always won the trophy because he was the only member in that group who ran a 5K road race, believe it or not, at the age of 95 years old.
He wasn't the guy that ran barefoot, was he?
No.
No? Because I remember doing the road race one year, and I'm standing at the finish line, and I see a guy come running across the finish line, no sneakers, no socks. It's like, dude, you're going to kill the bottom of your feet.
Well, I understand. I interviewed him after that, too. I asked him about that. He says, I've been doing this for years. The only time it's more difficult is in January when it's really cold.
When it snows.
And it's and the ground's frozen. It's like, okay.
Yeah, no.
Takes all kinds.
Oh, absolutely, it does. We've got a little bit more time left, so let's talk about bourbon, brew, and a little wine.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great, I'd love to.
Yeah, go for it.
So our event, again, we haven't had the event in 3 years due to the pandemic.
Due to what's going on.
Unfortunately. So this would be awesome, a wonderful time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a Westbrook Elks Club. We have good food. They make great hors d'oeuvres throughout the whole time that we're there, between 5:30 and 8. Mm-hmm. So there's different drinks you can try, different beverages you could sample.
Right.
And it's all during that time. You can sample as much or as little as you'd like.
Right.
Food for that time, again, provided by Westbrook Elks Club. Mm-hmm. We have a raffle, so when you're coming, it's a silent raffle. We'll have different gifts that were provided by the community.
Yeah.
the town,
Sure.
different towns and different businesses of the town, or they'll offer up some cash. We all purchase or obtain different gift cards of such, and we'll raffle those off to a silent auction. So, and it's a lot of fun.
It is.
Again, we're getting together. Also, there's music. There's a band that's playing. I think it's 1 or 2 man band.
Okay, that's
We've
right.
had up to a 3-man band. I believe it's a single person this time. And he's great. He's wonderful. It's nice background music. Just a wonderful venue. It's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful event.
It is.
And we'd love to have as many people who would like to come. Again, if you want tickets, the best place to buy tickets
Right.
is through the cordial shop in Old Saybrook.
Right.
At the paint shop in
Right.
Old Saybrook.
Go see Andy.
Or, pardon me?
Go see Andy.
Yes, at Andy Scott. Or myself. If you have my number, you can feel free to call me.
Right.
But if you're in town and you're shopping, the 2 venues of cordial shop and a paint shop are your best bet.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you never know, there also might be a Pete Mezzetti sighting at the event this year.
Okay.
I've come in the past, but Rock Martel, we're about to run out of time. So I want to thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having me, Peter.
You got
It's good to see you again.
You too. On behalf of Rock Martel, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next time.